What did you inherit that came with a dark family secret? When my grandfather passed, everyone expected him to leave behind his vintage coin collection, his war medals, or maybe the house in Vermont he was so proud of. Instead, I got a box. Just a box. No letter, no explanation. Just my name on a taped label, written in his old, shaky handwriting. I didn't open it at the funeral. Obviously. But as soon as I got home, I cleared the kitchen table and cut the tape. Inside were stacks of old letters, rubber banded together, faded photographs, and a key. A small brass key attached to a worn leather tag that simply said 1968. There was also a sealed envelope. My hands were shaking when I opened it. It wasn't addressed to me, but to someone named Arthur. My grandfather's name was David. I kept reading. The letter was written by a woman named June, and it started with, "Dear Arthur, I know you told me to never write again, but I need you to know our son is safe." My heart dropped. Our son? I don't know why, but I kept whispering that line aloud. Like, maybe it would make more sense if I said it. I spent the whole night going through every letter. Piece by piece, it became clear. My grandfather, or Arthur, as he apparently was once called, had a whole life before he met my grandmother. A woman named June, a child they had, a child he left behind. The photographs were of a young man growing up, birthdays, baseball games, even a graduation photo with "To Dad from Matt" scribbled on the back. But the thing that broke me was a black and white hospital bracelet. Baby M, 01/16/1968. There was also a photo of a little boy holding a stuffed lion with the word "mine" written on the back in faded blue ink. My mother walked in and saw the spread on the table. Her face went pale. I expected confusion, maybe denial, but she just closed her eyes and said, "So, you found the box." Apparently, my grandmother had discovered the truth years ago, and they had fought over it so badly, she nearly left him. He begged her to stay, promised to never speak of it again. And he didn't. For decades. Until he died. And left me the box. I asked why me. My mother shrugged and said, "Maybe because he thought you'd understand." I didn't. Not at first, but over time I started to realize I was the only one in the family who ever really asked about the past. About who we were before we became this quiet little suburban story. I went looking for Matt. It took me weeks of online searches, piecing together clues from the letters and photos, but I found a man named Matthew D. living 3 states away. Age matched, everything matched. I wrote him a letter, just like his mother did decades ago. I told him everything. I didn't know if he'd respond. He did. He wrote back and said he always knew he was adopted, but his mom had died young and never gave details. He'd stopped wondering years ago, but then he wrote something I'll never forget. "That stuffed lion, I still have it." We agreed to meet. I brought the box. He brought the lion. And when he saw the photo with "mine" written on the back, he choked up. We sat for hours, talking about everything and nothing. There was no dramatic reunion, no movie moment, just 2 men, strangers and yet somehow not, trying to fill in the blanks. Before we parted, he looked at me and said, "You know, he never reached out. Not once." I nodded. I think he was ashamed. Matthew smiled, but there was pain behind it. This is more than I ever thought I'd get. When I got home, I put everything back in the box, but I added one thing, a note, for whoever gets it next, because secrets rot when buried, and stories deserve to be told, even the ones that hurt, especially those. Brian Do,